Hello and welcome back to my 12 days of makeup. Today we are going to be talking about 12 gift-worthy palettes because we know the holidays are here. They are here, and so a lot of us are doing shopping and you may need some gift ideas. So I have 12 palettes. We're not going to put them in any particular order, but 12 palettes that I think would be great to gift to someone in your life. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Now, if this is your first video of mine, we are here in the middle of Vlogmas, and for my Vlogmas, I am uploading 12 videos every other day, starting December 1st through December 23rd, and all of my videos are going to be themed around the number 12. So I do have a playlist. I did this last year, and I'm doing it again this year, so feel free to binge watch. But let's go ahead and talk about these palettes. I have the majority of them. There are some that I don't have, and I'll insert pictures. Oh, I want to show you my shirt real quick, too. Teacher of Smart Cookies, because if you don't know, I am a teacher, so I'm like pulling out all of my teachery Christmas shirts. But okay, so let's start off with an eyeshadow palette that I don't have. And you might be saying, how can you recommend it if you don't have it? Okay. Well, I should probably say this first too. I am a neutral lover, if you don't know, and so a lot of these are going to be heavy on the neutrals, but the brands that I'm going to mention, they do have more colorful variations too. But the first palette is the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. The Glam Face Palette. They came out with a light version and a dark version, and I did not pick this up because I do have the Natasha Denona Glam palette, and I felt like it would be a little bit redundant. I'm not really into cream blushes. The highlight looked beautiful, but I think that this palette would be an amazing, amazing gift because you have 5 eyeshadows, a blush, and a highlighter. This can be a go-to. It's great packaging, very durable. You have a nice mirror in there, and I feel like anyone who's not even a makeup lover, but a makeup wearer, I think that they would love it. I think it would be a great gift, and I love the fact that you do have a lighter version and a deeper version, and I don't necessarily think that you have to use one or the other based on your skin tone, but I think that you can just look at the color story and see which one matches you better. So that is the first palette that I wanted to mention. Okay, so we'll just go into number 2 as well, and I do want to say the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette is expensive. Some of these are definitely going to be pretty pricey, but I do have some more affordable options as well. But I thought while we're talking about Natasha Denona, I do want to say I do have 2 of her eyeshadow palettes already. And so I'm putting this in one category because I really do enjoy the Natasha Denona formula. But these are the 2 palettes I have. So I did say that I had the Glam palette, and so this is why I feel like I don't need the face palette because I have tons of neutrals in here. They lean a little bit more cool toned, but I get some great looks with these. The mattes are super blendable. The mattes are super blendable. The shimmers give you like beautiful pigmentation. It's very easy to work with. And then for my birthday, Smegs grabbed the Natasha Denona Retro palette. And if you have someone in your life who really enjoys like the pinky berry tones, this is a great palette. Again, the formula is amazing. Every look that I have created, I've loved. You have a variety of different textures in here. I'm just a huge fan of the formula and the color story. So I feel like Natasha Denona is expensive for sure, but I feel like you get really good quality eyeshadows, and if you have someone in your life who doesn't have a huge collection, this would be a great splurge item for them to have a nice luxury eyeshadow palette. And if these aren't your color story, there is another eyeshadow palette. I mean, there's tons of them, but there's like the bronze palette if you're really into bronzy shades. I wasn't a huge fan of that one, so I decluttered it. But you have the Biba palette if it's still around, which has neutrals. You have the Trio Chrome. Like Natasha Denona has tons and tons and tons of eyeshadow palettes to choose from, but if you're a neutral lover, if you're shopping for a neutral lover, I love these 2. Let's step out of the luxury realm for a minute. We're still going to stick with some high-end, but a staple palette for me that I think would be great for the neutral lover in your life is the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. Now, if you have someone who is maybe a bit of a minimalist, like they're not trying to do the most with their eyeshadows, this would be a great palette for them. This is like a great everyday work palette for me. You have an array of neutral shades that you can put in the crease, brown shades. These shimmers down here are absolutely stunning. I really love the macchiato shade. It really packs a punch. And then you do have like 2 fun pops of color if you want something a little bit different. But this is definitely one of like my all-time favorite palettes, and I think it would be a great gift for anyone. This one still leans on the neutral side, but we are getting into a little bit more color. I have been trying out Vive Cosmetics. I have the Vive Essentials palette, but the Muse palette. This is the palette that stole my heart. If you have someone in your life who is into these romantic tones with the purples and the mauve, this is an amazing palette. Now you can order it from the Vive website and they'll ship to the US if you are here, or Cult Beauty I know has this, but I love this eyeshadow palette. She did something different with the shimmers. She reformulated them. If you tried the Essential palette and you weren't in love with the shimmers, because that's how I felt, I wasn't in love with the shimmers, but she changed up her shimmer formula a little bit, and this palette is stunning. You do get huge pan sizes. Like, let me just show you. Let me pull up my Natasha Denona so that you can see the size difference. Okay, see? See the size difference here? Like, these pans are huge. So definitely getting a ton of eyeshadow. Very, very beautiful formula. I love it, and I think this would be a great gift. I should stop saying that. I should stop saying this would be a great gift. That's obviously why I'm recommending them. Okay, so moving right along, let's move into some that are more affordable, shall we? So I really do enjoy Colourpop, and I have some suggestions for you. Again, I'm sorry if you are a color lover or you're shopping for a color lover. I'm probably giving you some boring palettes, but these are my vibes. I'm a neutral lover, so I guess this should be 12 gift-worthy palettes for the neutral lover in your life. But I really love the Colourpop That's Taupe. This has a great formula. It's not a dupe to the Natasha Denona Glam, but I feel like if you like the color story of the Natasha Denona Glam, you would like the color story of the That's Taupe, because they are more like cooler toned taupey vibes. Again, the quality is great. You can do something light with these shades here or smoke it up a bit so you have some versatility, and it is a smaller palette and easy to travel with, and you do have a magnetic closure. Another one I wanted to mention that I don't have but I hear people rave about is the Colourpop Going Coconuts palette. Again, it's much more of a neutral palette, more of like kind of an everyday, like, I mean, any palette can be an everyday, but like a go-to palette. And I've heard so many people rave about that. So sometimes the That's Taupe can be a little bit tricky to find. And if that's the case, then you may like Going Coconuts. But now let me give you some color, okay? But if I'm gonna give you color, I'm gonna give you greens, because that's what I like. I like the romantic purpley berry tones, and I like greens. So sticking with Colourpop and affordability, we do have the Child palette. I think that's what this one is, the Child palette. If you have someone in your life who loves green eyeshadows, these are so fun. Like even this one that has the glitter in it, people are like, ooh, like a matte with glitter, but I actually don't see the glitter on the eyes. And you can create some beautiful like green tones. You can smoke it up, you can do something light, and then you do have a few neutrals if you want to throw a pop of neutral in there. But I really enjoy this palette. When I am looking for color, it is typically something on the green side. So if you do have someone in your life who wants to dip into color, or they're into color and they're into greens, this would be a great one that won't break the bank. Another green eyeshadow palette that I really love is the BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast palette, the Avocado Toast palette. Now I also have the Blueberry Muffin palette as well. I can grab that in just a minute. I didn't have that on my list, but I pulled this one because I am a green lover. And so this one, you do have some neutral shades in here, a ton of greens. You have this row of like blues down here, which are super fun. I did a video, I don't remember what video, but I used this row down here and got tons of compliments on it. And it's a great palette. Like the BH quality is amazing. Again, it's more on the affordable side. I want to say it's like around $18 and you get a mirror. So I think this would also be a great gift. Okay, so I mentioned I had the blueberry muffin and that it wasn't in this 12 gift-worthy palettes, but we can combine it with avocado toast because if greens aren't the color story of the person you're looking for, even if you're shopping for yourself, I mean, gift yourself, this one is a great, like this formula is great. I'm not a blue lover, so I don't reach for this often, but if you are into like cooler tones, grays, blues, this would also be a great option and a great palette to gift. This next palette, I can't not mention it. I mention this eyeshadow palette in like every video that I do because I just love it so much, but it is the Sydney Grace Tiny Marvels palette. Now this is one where color meets neutrals, and whether you are shopping for someone who loves color or someone who loves neutrals, this eyeshadow palette has something for everybody. You do have some fun pops of color here that you can reach into. The Scarab shade is like a really cool like duochrome, like the blue brown. But then you also have neutrals. If you want to stick with neutral, you can make it a green, you can make it a deeper red, you can smoke it up, you can keep it nice and light and airy. The Sydney Grace quality is amazing. This was in collaboration with Mel Thompson, and so it's nice that we always have a piece of her with us. I have been recommending this palette like in every single eyeshadow palette video that I have done since I purchased it, and I would be remiss if I didn't add this in here because this would make a great gift. Okay, so I have 3 more, and just like number 2, these aren't really ranked, but the second one, the Natasha Denona, I was showing you the 2 that I had but said any of them would make great gifts. That's how I feel with the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. Now I know that she has a ton of obsessions and some of them have been like hit or miss, but I think that these obsessions are honestly like really great gift ideas because you have 9 pans in here, you have a mirror. I really like this one, the Wild Jaguar palette. You can really smoke it up and get something nice and deep. It's like a great date night eyeshadow palette. But then you also have, this one is the chocolate brown, and she had like a caramel brown and a toffee brown that came out with this collection. And these are more of like your like easy neutral shades where you just kind of dip in. You can get something nice and deep with these shimmer shades. But the ones that I have tried, I felt like the quality was really good. I like that they're nice and small and compact, like easy to travel with, fit in the palm of your hand. And I think these are around $28-ish. So they are still pricey for just a tiny 9-pan palette, but more affordable than like the Natasha Denona or the Vive. So I think these are great gifts as well. Okay, now this next one, it's not my favorite palette. It's not, but I enjoy it, and I do think that it would be a great gift for someone who is perhaps a beginner or not very confident in their eyeshadow ability. I think the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes is like a great, I don't want to call it a beginner palette, but just a great like everyday palette. So the reason why I said this isn't my favorite is I'm not in love with the shimmers. I think the mattes are great. They're super blendable. They're super creamy, but these shimmers are almost a little bit lackluster for me. You're not going to get a huge bang. It's a little bit more subdued. So if you have someone who's maybe a little bit newer or just not as confident, or they don't want something that's so bright and in your face, then I think that this is a great palette. Again, it's just like very neutral, very basic, but those are sometimes the best palettes to gift, so recommend this one. And to round out our gift-worthy palettes, I did want to add my BK Beauty True Beauty eyeshadow palette in here. Again, neutrals, okay? I am a neutral lover, so I think this would be a great palette to gift to someone if you know someone who has more mature eyelids, or again, someone who doesn't really want like bam in your face shadows, but they want something that's a little bit more subtle or a little bit more subdued. This is the way to go because all of their like shimmer shades just give you more of a sheen. So I often struggle with eczema on my eyelids, and this does not accentuate that. It's not going to accentuate texture, fine lines, wrinkles, anything of the sort. Super blendable and creamy. You can spice it up with this purple shade, but if you know someone who has a little bit more like mature eyes or texture, this would be a great gift for them. But that's going to do it for this one, 12 gift-worthy eyeshadow palettes. I think I'm going to, it was just going to be 12 gift-worthy eyeshadow palettes, but I almost feel like if I don't put for the neutral lover in the title, some people may be disappointed. But I am a neutral lover, so that's like what I can recommend. That is my strength. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Definitely make sure you're subscribed before you go because you know I am in Vlogmas. We are uploading every other day until December 23rd. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.